Good morning, good morning. Welcome. I'm going to be talking about spring is sprung. And we're going to be talking about spring this morning and how other religions do spring. And just wanted to say hi to everyone. It's a beautiful day out here. I don't know where you are from, but hopefully it's as pretty there. The sun is shining, the birds are singing, and we have Sean here with us. That's really exciting.
Yay!
Yeah, yeah.
Birds are singing.
It's so great to have you all here. Um, I'd like to start off with meditation, and I'd like it if Sean would play it. And if we'd all just take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. And go deep and deep into the spring that it is. This is a month that is the most activity, has the most activity of the other months because it has storms, snow, rain, sunshine, calm days, busy days, hectic days. Spring, when it hits, we never know how it's going to hit. And this year, it's been doing everything. So we can't say that, oh, it hasn't rained. Oh, it's rained. Can't say it hasn't been warm. It's been warm, and it's going to get warmer this week. So think of spring like you. Think of you as a spring individual. Think of yourself going through everything that the weather is going through. This year, there's politics that people are worried about. There's health issues people are worried about. There's relationships that people are worried about. But I want you to cast aside all of those worries right now. Just for this hour. Then you can let them back in. But right now, just release all the worry, all of the pain, all of the anger, all of the frustration. And just let it go. Let it go so it flies through the atmosphere and goes to the end of the earth. Your worry is what's keeping me from being extremely happy, extremely excited about life. So just take a nice deep breath, breathe in, and now release everything that's not happiness and joy. One more time, breathe in and release everything that's not happiness and joy. And one more time, one last time, just breathe in love, breathe out all that isn't. Thank you, Sean. That was wonderful. Thank you. Now, this is a time that if anybody has anything they want to say about what's going on in their life or any problems they have, if you know of anybody who is very, very ill, let us know so we can put them in our group prayer. Annie, you have something to say?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Wednesday is my cataract surgery, so would appreciate good vibes and high vibrations
Good,
for that.
good. We'll do that.
Thank you.
Wednesday. I see Annie on Wednesday.
Yeah, and my oncologist says I look good, so that's good. And
Good.
pretty,
Fantastic. That's wonderful.
yeah,
Okay. Anybody else that they want to put into this?
We've got an arm up over here.
Yes.
My husband, Robert, he's dealing with long COVID symptoms.
He's dealing with what?
Long COVID symptoms.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
Well, healing.
so some healing for him, please.
Well, maybe I'm dealing with long COVID.
What are the symptoms?
Okay.
What are the symptoms?
Mostly.
I'd like to put Patty Ray in
Okay.
the prayer.
Okay.
She just turned 89 and
Come in.
still she's failing.
Okay. And so just do that. And put her in the prayers. Is she going through a difficult time now?
She is. She feels her life force is leaving her.
Oh my gosh.
She's not anywhere close. I mean, she can be dramatic at times, but she does feel she's deteriorating.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, we'll put her in our prayers.
Thank you.
You're gonna sit.
Okay,
Okay.
Patty Ray.
Excuse me.
Okay? Good, thank you for the reminder. I didn't know how she was doing. John, do you have a song for us?
Sure.
Okay. Back to Sean.
All right.
Happy, happy, happy.
So I dug this one up out of the annals. So I haven't sung it in a really long time. Need to clear my mind. Leave that old one behind. There's so much more that I've been looking for. That old one is dying. Step into the future, won't you come along with me? I made up my history, but that's not where I want to be. I feel my love, and feel it. I feel my love, and feel it. I feel my love, and feel it. It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down. Say that we can't have it, but it's right around the corner. Peaceful place to live, with no walls around our borders. I can talk to God in the language that I know. We all can go to heaven, can travel upon the same road. I feel my love, can you feel it? I feel my love, can you feel it? I feel my love, can you feel it? It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down, coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down. Clear our minds, leave what we know behind. There's a mystery of possibilities, our futures are entwined. If we come together, everybody gets a hand. While we back together, before we go out of this land, I feel my love, can you feel it? I feel my love, can you feel it? I feel my love, can you feel it? It's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's coming down, it's raining down. I feel my love.
great. Thank you so very much.
You're very welcome.
Can I
And
make an announcement, Dottie?
yes, you may.
Okay, tomorrow, Santa Clara County is celebrating and accepting trans people. And there's going to be a flag raising at 70 West Heading tomorrow at 11:30 in the morning. And there's a ceremony from 11:30 to 1 o'clock.
Okay.
And it's just in support of the trans people in the community.
Oh,
That's
wonderful.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Not a particular day, they just chose it.
Well, it's actually next week, but it is international next week. But
Yeah.
this is Santa Clara County, so
Okay, this is for Santa Clara County. How wonderful.
because of all the rejection and the stuff that's been happening in the
Right.
world, they're going to have a yay hooray rally. So
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for saying that.
Excellent.
Anybody else have any announcements they'd like to make? Okay. Yeah. Well, I wanted to say, I'm talking about spring is sprung, and the fact that your puppies were born in springtime.
Oh, they are so cute.
They are so cute.
We listened to them lap up their whatever it was they were
Oh.
eating.
isn't that a cute sound? That
Yes, yes, it is. And it was just so neat to see them. Thank you so much for sharing that. You have 4 puppies.
4.
They all made it.
2 of them are sold, and 1 is a maybe, and another is a maybe. So a maybe, but I
Oh,
still have 2
okay.
up for grabs.
And one more time, what kind are they?
Yorkshire Terriers,
Okay.
categories and registered.
Oh my gosh.
Awesome.
That's
Because
wonderful.
they're very cute, but they'll just get cuter and cuter, I'm pretty sure. And until they poop on the floor, then they won't be so cute.
The nice thing is it's not a very big poop.
Yeah, right now. Oh, and I guess when they're adults even,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, there's fun.
Yeah, so great. Well, March 20th is officially the first day of spring.
Yay, March.
Yeah, spring, when the world seems to wake up. Everything's happening in March. And with weather, we've had snow, we've had sunshine, we've had everything going on. This is the world waking up, coming out of the heavy winter we had. Not near as heavy as what was going on back east, but we had quite a weather. We've had rain. One week we had rain a little bit every day. It just rained a bit and then thought about it and then rained more and then thought about it. It was really interesting. So just being glad that it's March, that we've got all the rain, we've got all the energy going on. The world is waking up. Okay. Not only with interesting weather with rain, sun, and dark clouds, there are 3 delightful things about this season. Nature's renewal. Yeah. This is time that nature is renewing. Trees regain their lush greenery, flowers bloom in vibrant colors, and the air is filled with the sweet smell of blossoms. It's like nature's grand awakening. Just think, it's a grand awakening of Mother Nature, who has been asleep in a lot of different states. And now it's coming back, it's waking up. Longer days. The sun lingers around a little bit longer, offering more daylight to enjoy everything outside. You're going to be finding you're wanting to go outside more. Get out. Feel the soil beneath your feet. Be able to look at everything that's out there, everything that's happening. It's a time to go outside. And the outdoor activities that you do something that makes you move. Not just walk outside, get in the car, drive somewhere, get outside, go inside. Let's get outside. Let's go to the park. Or go to the mountains. Everything is so green in the hills. And just take a drive and see how beautiful everything is looking. And realize when spring comes, it affects every religion. Spring is one of the things that does more for the land than anything else. It awakens us. It brings us back from the winter. There's a burst of wildlife. Birds have come, and birds are wonderful. birds singing and just flying around and doing everything. It's wonderful to have more birds out there. They're returning from migration. They're singing their cheerful songs. And baby animals like lambs and puppies and ducklings and bunnies make joyous entry into life. Everything is breaking up. Everything is waking up. There are more religious holidays being handled by March than any other month. Think about it. You might think, well, hey, Christmas time is more. No, there are more Christian holidays happening around Christmas time, but March has something from every great religion going on this month. I'm going to read some of those to you. With spring busting out, we have many different ways to celebrate spring, including fun with art for Mardi Gras, and paintings for Holi, plus wearing green to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, enjoying the day for the elimination of racial discrimination, World Meteorological Day, and World Wildlife Day, and spring. All of those things are going to be celebrated by us. But what about other religions? The Buddhists, for instance, celebrate Allah. And I'm sorry, that's the Baha'is that celebrate Allah. It's a time, the 19-day fast until May 19th. They're just now getting all their food in preparation for Nowruz. Those who are healthy and of age abstain from food and drink from sunrise to sunset. And that's on the 1st of March. Nowruz, 20th, is New Year of the Baha'i faith. Baha'is feast and celebrate during the evening. Buddhism. The 14th, the anniversary of the death of Shang Zhendodashi, a Chinese priest of the Tang era who passed away in 681. He developed the practice of reciting the name of Amida Buddha. And this is somebody who is very well held in a accord, offered life, energy to, doing a lot of work with. Higani, to reach the other shore, starts from the 17th and goes to the 23rd, 3 days before the March equinox, and finishes 3 days after that date. Continuing for a total of 1 week, it is a time to honor ancestors and come together to chant the name of Amida Buddha. So in Buddhism, they have a day just set aside to chant the name. How wonderful. Wouldn't it be great if we set aside a day to chant a name of somebody we believe in? And think about it. Put it in your heart. Sometimes we think about people that we really appreciate, and we forget to mention them. We forget to talk about them. It's one of those things that takes a lot of energy to do, and then after you do it, it feels so good. Because you take the time, you take the energy to recite somebody's name. Christianity. The Great Feast is the start of the Great Lent for Orthodox Christians. This day is also called Clean Monday and occurs 7 weeks before Orthodox Easter. And then we have Shrove Tuesday, the day before Ash Wednesday ends the season of Epiphany and is a vigil for the starting of Lent. And then we have Mardi Gras. Right the day before we start Lent, we have Mardi Gras. And that's a celebration. How many of you been to New Orleans for Mardi Gras? Yeah, we have. It's amazing. There's more people doing more things. There's more activities going on. There's more nudity. There's more kissing. There's more hugging. There's everything. I have a quick story about Mardi Gras. We were in New Orleans, Corky and I and our friend Jan, and we're having a great time. And they said, oh, we're going to go down the street. And I said, oh, I'm going to just stand here and lean against the street light. So I did, and this man came up and said, "Well, hello, you're from out of town." And I said, "Yes." He said, "Where?" And I said, "San Jose." He said, "Here, I want to welcome you to New Orleans." And he gave me a long string of beads to put on.
They have to do special things for that kind of beads.
Yeah, but those beads, you're supposed to do special things. All I did was just say thank you very much. But I'm standing there with these beads that go down to my knees, and Jan and Corky come back and goes, "What did you do while we're gone?" Because what you do to get beads is show your breasts. And I had to say, "No, I didn't. I just met a nice man, a nice older man."
Yeah, because you get those long ones for pulling down your pants.
Yeah.
Oh. Well,
You
yeah.
get
So
the long ones first. It's showing your bust and pulling down your pants. So,
Body.
so there I was just warm with pride. That's
and everybody
smart.
went, "Wow, she can do it."
Ash Wednesday is, and it's the beginning of Lent, a 40-day period of time where you give up things. I was Catholic for about 10 years, and when Lent came along and you had to give up something, it took me a time every year to think, what do I want to give up? When I was young, I would give up chocolate. And that was rough because I was 13, 14. And so we'd sit on the Mary, across the street, Mary, she had a house with a porch. We'd sit on the porch and we'd talk and eat all the chocolate on Saturday because that's when Lent ends. And we'd just stuff all this stuff, and we'd sit and we'd giggle and we'd laugh and we'd carry on. And then we'd both go home and get sick.
Yeah.
We did that for 4 years in a row. My mom was kind of glad that she wasn't imbibing that many calories. But
What was it your dad gave up?
my dad always gave up riding in submarines.
Ah, that's it.
Since we lived in the desert, that was pretty good.
Oh.
Okay, Hinduism, Holi. Holi is a colorful and joyous festival that welcomes spring. It's dedicated to Krishna and referred to as a festival of colors. It is celebrated over 2 days with people throwing colorful powder and colored water. And how many of you done any of the Holi excitement?
I've seen it on TV.
Yeah, you've seen it on TV. It looks like you're going to get hit by color if you go. But that's another thing that is celebrating spring. And it's celebrating honoring their Hinduism group. And it's fun. And so if you think about it. When March comes along, all these things that you can do. Ramayana week begins 9 days before Vami, the birth anniversary of Lord Rama. Fasting during this period is considered highly auspicious. I love it. Fasting is considered highly auspicious to do during Ramayana week. Indigenous, thank
Not
you.
indigent.
Indigenous spirituality is the 13th of March to the 13th of April. And it's sugar moon, maple sugar moon. The running of the maple sap heralds the spring rebirth of the Mi'kmaq First Nations. So we have indigenous people getting involved in the celebration of spring. Islam, first day of the holy month of Ramadan, the month of fasting, ending on March 31st. The entire month of March, the Islamic people have to not only fast, but being able to drink from the first sign of dawn until sunset. I could see not eating during that period of time, but also not drinking. It would be rough for me. until from the first sign of dawn until sunset, a time of self-examination and religious devotion. Observance begins at sunset of the previous day, but special worship and prayers begin March 1st. So there's so many different things that happen during that month. The Islamic people, there's a lot going on. They do prayers, they do fasting. They have a festival. It's not really a festival, but it is a special day for many Muslims, and it's called Jumu'at al-Wada. Observance begins at sunset of the previous day, but special worship and prayers begin on March 28th. Judaism, Purim, celebrates victory over an oppressive ruler, as related in the book of Esther, which is read at this time. Suspension of work is not required. I love that they put in there that suspension of work is not required. You just have a chance to stay home if you feel like you really need it, but you don't have to.
Okay.
Shinto, Shunbun no Hai, Spring Memorial Service, Vernal Equinox Day, previously called Shunki Sorel Sai. It occurs in the middle of a 7-day period called Higan, a time when respect is paid to ancestors. What a great time. What a great thing to have is a time to worship your ancestors and to pray for people. And that is in the month of March, but particularly around the 20th. Sikh, New Year's Day, beginning of the year, 557 of the Nanashi era. This is the first day of Chit, the first day of Sikh calendar. Hola Molla is a 3-day festival following Holi. The 10th Sikh Guru Gobind Singh Ji, started as a time for military preparation exercises. Today, mock battles are followed by music competitions and festivities. I love that when I read it, that it's followed by music competitions. So here you have all these soldiers out there showing off, doing things, and making work for themselves, putting together preparations of battles, and then they have it followed by music competitions and festivities. It makes me think that they've got a better idea about what war's about than we do, when they can put into the fun of it. Wicca. Ostara celebrates the return of the goddess as maiden, the courting of the goddess by the god, and the reawakening of the seeds within the earth. Wow. The reawakening of the seeds within the earth. What a great thing to look at on the 20th, the first day of spring. Ostara celebrates the return of the goddess. Zarathushti, Zarathushti.
Any takers on that?
Zarathustra?
Yeah, thank you.
Say that again, Sean.
Zarathustra?
Yeah. And celebrates the creation of human beings and commemorates past souls in March. And then the new Nowruz is on the 21st, is New Year's Day, for 1394 in the Fosli seasonal calendar. It celebrates the renewal of the world and the creation of fire, symbolic of Asha, or righteousness. Zoroaster received his revelation on this day.
There's so much more than just Christianity.
Isn't that amazing? And these are all in March. They're having their big celebrations. Nowruz, New Year's Day, is for 1394. I already read that. But it celebrates the renewal of the world and the creation of fire, symbolic of Asha, or righteousness. Zoroaster received his revelation on this day. Birth anniversary of Prophet Zoroaster is on the 26th. Supplemental. A total lunar eclipse occurs when the moon passes through the Earth's partial shadow or pendulum. This eclipse will be visible throughout all North America, Mexico, Central America, and South America. And that happened on the 14th. On the 29th, Earth Hour aims to create awareness of people taking responsibility towards a sustainable future by turning the lights off for 1 hour at 2:30 local time. And that's on the 29th. And that's what you can do in the United States to show that you're celebrating March. And this year, on the 29th, a partial solar eclipse occurs when the moon covers only a part of the sun. This partial eclipse will be visible throughout Greenland and most of northern Europe and northern Russia. It will be best seen from Canada. Okay, look at all the different, very, very important reasons these people have to celebrate. These are some of the greatest religions in the world. And they are celebrating who invented their religion, who came about with their idea of their religion. They're taking time to spend on their religion. It's more than just an hour a week. And I think most of you feel that way. That your religion is more than an hour a week. Your religion is something you do every day, but quite often you don't do it when other people are. Many of you say prayers first thing in the morning. Some of you say prayers every evening. Praying puts you in line with the Creator. That's a good way for you to make a stand about who you are and how you feel about all of these different religions celebrating at the same time that you do. It's being a part of it. Not saying you have to be X to have God on your side. All of these people that I read to you believe that God is on their side. So what I wanted you to do today is think about all of the celebrations we have this month and looking at them and finding out, what do other people think? What do other people pray? What do other people want from life? And look at that. And as you're looking at it, say, what am I doing to help this move forward? Not just your religion, but other religions, because they all have a basic good. They all have a basic love of life. And so honor them. It doesn't mean you have to go to every church or to every function, but what it does mean is it's time for you to say, I love God, Creator. Now let's see how other people love Creator. And what do they call Creator? And what do they do with that energy? When we think about what's going on in the world, there's a lot of wars, there's a lot of discontent. They're not thinking about their religion. They're thinking about themselves. And when you have a bunch of people get together and think about what they're going to do for themselves, not for the whole world, you get what we have right now. And so start thinking about looking into some other religions. Find out what they have to say. Not that I want you to join another religion. I like you belonging to UCM just fine, and CCL just fine. But find out why other people are celebrating. And when you do, honor it. A lot of these people have to honor Christianity. They're living in the United States because that's put down for them by law. The different times that various places are closed, like Christmas, and sometimes part of Thanksgiving, and sometimes the first of the year, and sometimes all sorts of different ideas of closing schools closing, businesses, just like the other ones, just like the other religions have. So look into it and find out why they do this, why they celebrate, what are they celebrating. And you'll find that there's so much energy going out from people to celebrate that sometimes they forget to stop and look at other people. So just take that opportunity to do that. The other thing that I'd like for you to do is realize that all of these wonderful things they have written down of times to spend in prayer, times to spend in a church, or sometime a temple, look at it and maybe go someday to a Jewish temple, or go sometime to a Catholic church, or go sometime to a Mormon building. What do they call the buildings that you have Mormons in?
Temple.
No. Temple is totally different if you just go to church.
You just go to church.
You just go to a regular church building.
Yeah, I didn't think it was called
No.
temple.
No,
Yeah.
temple is a whole different thing. Not anybody can just go in.
Okay. So, but you just go to church. So that's interesting. There are so many different places that you can go to find out what do other people think. Not just what you read, but how you feel. You're all intuitive. Feel what it feels like to go to a different church. Feel the energy in there. And you're going to find quite often you haven't seen these people before. They're a different organization for you. The people are different colored sometimes. They have different color skin, and they have different eye types.
And eat different food.
They eat different food, yes.
That's what
Find
I'm
out
interested
who
in.
they are so that you know.
In their heart. Yeah.
So that you know who these different people are by their religion. And you'll find that you grow so. You find out what celebrations they're doing, but you also find out what they're thinking. And it gives you an advantage when you can feel what half the world is thinking. Because then you realize that they're looking at the world from a different angle than you are. It doesn't mean it's wrong, it's just different. And for many of you, especially Sean and Joan and Ruth and Mary too, and Corky, have been a different religion, have been different religions. And know that being a different religion doesn't take you away from the one you are now. It just takes looking into it and see what it does. So you can talk to other people about their faith. That's one of the reasons I wanted to mention how so many different holidays are being celebrated during this time. And it's because it's springtime. And so many of you feel it and sense it, but you don't do anything about it because, oh well, it's springtime, oh well. Have fun. Go out and sing and dance and splash in the water. And there's going to be a little bit more water coming up next week. And enjoy life. If you're just sitting watching TV, you're not growing unless you're watching some really good programs that are good for you. You're watching those to entertain you. And you can be entertained by anything. So just say to yourself, I'm going to get outside. I'm going to enjoy spring. I'm going to enjoy March. I'm going to take this opportunity to have a good time in the country, in the city, at the lake, at the ocean. Just do some traveling and appreciate it. And when you do that, say to yourself, I am investigating other religions to find out who they are. And it'll be fun for you. And you might even find some that you like as well as us. That's fine. Just as long as you keep up with your looking into different religions. That's what I'm talking about here. Okay, anybody have anything they'd like to say about spring?
I love it.
You love it?
I love it.
You love it? Okay, anybody else? Joan?
I love daffodils, and in October, November, I plant daffodils and tulips. And then they come at this time of year, and they're just so bright and colorful.
Great.
I'm good at daffodils. I'm not so good with tulips. But I have one tulip that is about 2 feet tall. I've never seen such a tall tulip. It's an amazing thing.
But you don't love roses?
They're not out yet.
Okay.
That's true.
Yeah, I love roses when they. One way of celebrating spring or the spring season is go to the rose garden, the official rose garden.
In San Jose, yeah.
In
In San Jose, the official rose garden? Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Just acres of
Different
blossoms.
kinds, different colors, different looks. Look, they don't even look like a rose. There are some amazing, amazing flowers there. Thank you for sharing, Joan. That's great. Okay, Sean, what do you do for spring?
What allergies?
Lots of allergies. I used to. We had these big troughs in our backyard, and I never knew what was going to come up what spring. But I had a whole sea of tulip bulbs planted in there, and I had crocus and I had columbine, and some years the columbine would come up, some years the tulips would come up, some years the crocus would come up. It was really fun. I miss all those flowers that were just kind of randomly placed there at one point and then would pop in. So Mel and I went to a bear dance last week to wake up the bears. So it was a very old tradition in California that there were bear dances. And when the Spanish came, it kind of wiped out that tradition. And over the last 30 or so years, that tradition has been making its way back. And so with bear medicine, the bear is a healer. And so there are a lot of bear doctors all throughout California that would go and use bear medicine to heal the people. And at the winter solstice, because bears are a hibernating creature, they would put away the bear medicine for a few months and then bring it back on the spring equinox. So we got to participate in a bear dance last week where we were bringing the bear medicine back. So it was a really small family gathering. There will be bigger dances happening in other parts of California, but the bear medicine men will put on their bears and bring them into a sacred circle and dance the bears, and then bring the people in and do healing work, doctoring on the people. And that's a tradition that happens every equinox.
Oh my gosh. Well, how do you find out where the bears are holding their...
That's a secret. The Native Americans of California they're very quiet about their traditions. They're not very inclusive to people outside of their families or their extended families. So I can't really say where that's going to be, but I do know that there is an event that will be open to people at the Pachanga Casino down in Southern California on March 29th. That's a little bit after the equinox, but there'll be a waking up of the bears ceremony. So.
And where's Pachanga?
Pachanga is in the area of Temecula.
Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we've been there.
Yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
Oh, well, great. Thank you for sharing. That is interesting. And so this is the time the bears come out.
Yep. The bears wake up and they start doing their work throughout the year.
Oh my gosh.
So Stephen, I'm sorry. Excuse me. Stephen had his arm His arm, probably his whole hand.
His paw.
He had his paw. Let's see, in the gallery. Stephen.
Yeah, I put it into the chat. The San Jose Heritage Rose Garden. I know Citrus, I love you. The San Jose Heritage Rose Garden, just south of Airport, between Coleman and Guadalupe Parkway, or Expressway, is very fabulous. And they don't trim the roses like in the official rose garden. So if you go there right now, you'll probably see blooming roses, even as we speak.
Wow.
Lovely. Sounds wonderful. Thank you so
Wonderful.
much.
Yeah,
Thank you,
here roses don't stop blooming, but some people just think it's wrong, so they trim the roses. If I walk around the block, I see blooming roses.
Blooming roses.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Thank you. And Songbird, you want to talk about what you wrote in the chat? Songbird.
Maybe she just wants
Yeah,
to.
sure. I have my native plant sanctuary in the backyard, which is now 3 years old, and I've been cleaning the bird baths, almost daily to make sure there's no avian flu, and I've just made this commitment to the birds, and they know it, and they come here, and they're everywhere. I mean, I feel like, in that movie Snow White and the Dwarves or something, where the birds are everywhere around my house. There was one trying to nest on the porch as I came home. They're on my roof. One hopped into the garage, trying to find nesting material. When I went to the hairdresser, I thought, oh, my hair is clean. And that's not like dog hair that has flea medicine on it. So I had them put my hair in an envelope and brought it home and gave it to them for their nest. So, it's just
wonderful.
like, yes, and they used it. It's gone. So it's just beautiful. And this hermit thrush, I have the tiniest little corner in the backyard where, I planted some trees, native trees, because the apartments on the other side were cutting down all the trees. And so I put the native trees there. And then I had the leaves from the front, that were on the street in the fall, spread all over my backyard. And so that's where the pollinators, and insects leave, and, they're reproducing there and stuff. And apparently it made my little tiny backyard a forest, enough to get this hermit thrush. And I just can't believe I have a hermit thrush in my miniature forest.
Oh, how cool! How cool is that? That's wonderful.
Oh, Donna, Donna Zahner is here.
Hey, Donna, how you feeling?
Just back from your surgery. How are you feeling? Donna, how are you feeling?
There we go. Good morning, everybody.
Yay! Welcome back.
Every day's a little better.
Yay! Awesome.
Could you tell people what you had done?
I had 4 new discs replaced in my neck, C4 through 7, and then a fusion C6 and 7.
Wow.
So,
I'm
all good. I'll be the bionic woman. Good to go.
Can you rotate your head 360 degrees?
Yeah, that's my question too. Yeah. Well done.
Yes, I can.
Very good.
I just have to be creative about it.
Yeah, indeed.
Anybody else have something they'd like to say about spring?
Patty had written something about Gloria.
Oh, how's Gloria doing?
Patty, can you give us the verbal? I'm having a little trouble reading today. Patty.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Patty.
We heard from Glory that a few days ago she was moved from ICU to MICU, and which is medical ICU, and so it's just a different approach. And then yesterday we got a message from her that she found out she does not have to be on a pacemaker, and they disconnected the temporary one. So she's making really good progress, and so now what she's looking forward to is 4 weeks of rehab. and that's her next step. So she's doing really good, and she's been, sending some really sassy kinds of messages. So we know she's feeling a whole lot
Oh,
better.
good. Right
Great.
on.
Yeah.
With
Good.
music.
Good.
With music. Okay, that's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the update.
Sure.
Yeah, that's great.
Annie has her hand up. Annie.
Oh, that was
Oh, there's Zeke.
It's
Hi,
nurse.
Zeke.
It's Nurse Zeke.
Nurse and Zeke.
Nurse Zeke. He's doing a great job.
Yay!
Hi, Zeke.
Hi, everybody.
So, well, first off, I didn't ask earlier for prayers for my friend Sue Holly, who's back in the hospital again. She has sarcoidosis in both of her lungs. She's trying to get in line for a double lung transplant.
Wow.
And has been having cardiac issues and so on. And I'm hoping when I go to Seattle in April, I'm going to get to see her. I'm hoping she'll be in a place where I can go and visit her. I haven't seen her in over 5 years. But back to spring and celebration. So thank you. Sue Holly is her name. Back to spring and celebration. This is the time of year that all the birds come in. And I have like a little spring that runs in my backyard. They call it a slough, but it's a little creek. And so I get a lot of blue jays this time of year. Blue jays and crows and honeybees start coming in. And so a lot of times if it's too wet outside to be sitting outside, then I at least have big windows so I can look out and see the birds and watch them all flying around and having a good time. I also get a lot of chickadees and just little birds everywhere. So it's kind of nice to. I really enjoy the springtime with the birds.
great. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else like to talk about what they like about spring? Yes, Lonnie. You're on mute.
We can't hear you. Can't hear you, Lonnie.
There we go.
Ah, there you go. Thank you.
Okay. My favorite thing is going to have lunch in the woods with the deer.
Wow. Where?
I go to Sanborn. It's just outside of Saratoga, so it's not very far. You just go up just past Saratoga Springs on the left, and the deer come, the babies and everybody, and they're very friendly. They'll come and you just sit right next to them and they eat the grass and you're eating lunch. And I just love that. It's just like, whoa, it's the best.
Oh, great. That is exciting. Yes.
Yeah. And then, there's other animals too. There's blue jays and birds and everything around there. And then they built this like thing you can sit in this whole round grove of redwood trees, and the energy is just really amazing.
Great. Oh, that's wonderful.
So if anybody wants to go, let me know. I'll take you.
Okay.
Sounds great. Perfect.
That's
so.
fantastic.
Anybody else interested in? Oh, there she goes.
I'll share spring.
Okay.
Because our spring's a little behind your spring, of course, but I have a whole tub of little pansies that have already opened their beautiful little faces, and I have tons of they haven't sprouted yet, but annuals, so tulips and gladiolas and all marigolds and all those things will be popping up soon. They're sticking their little heads out, but
all right,
it's a little too early. But the quails came back yesterday because we have a bird feeder that's on the ground for all the ground feeders like pigeons and doves and the quails, and so Sage loves chasing the quails off, but they were here yesterday, and they watch out for her, so they know to take off if the
Do you get any wild turkeys or anything like that?
We do not get wild turkeys, but we do get the baby, and when it's a little later in the spring, then they have babies. So the daddy quail comes and he sits on top of the bush along the back fence, and then he talks to the mom and the babies and tells them when the coast is clear, and then all the babies and the mamas jump on the fence and jump into the yard and come and eat. So
Oh, that's so great. They're so
very
cute, the
cute.
little babies with their little top notches, you know.
We used to have a lot of bunnies, but we don't have those like we used to.
Now you have a lot of coyotes, huh?
I think, and we do have
Happy
coyotes. We do have coyotes because we have a green belt behind us, and then we have a green across the street is a row of houses, and then behind that is a huge green belt. So the coyotes do live over there. So on the full moons, they wander around and do some howling.
They serenade you.
They serenade us. And Sage is really good because even if we sleep with our window open, she won't bark at them when they come along the back green belt right behind us.
She doesn't want them to know she's in there.
I don't want her interacting with them. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
I don't want them to think they're invited.
Oh, for sure.
When we were having the drought really bad, we even had bear prints along the back fence once as well, because they came down to look for food.
Yeah.
So, but they just passed through. I've never seen them. They just passed through. So,
yeah.
So we do have different flowers and birds, and we have these beautiful little yellow, they look kind of like little yellow finches, and then they're called red-tipped blackbirds, and they have red tips on their wings, and they have a very beautiful songbird too.
Great.
So just a little later than yours.
Good.
Well, that's great. That kind of prolongs it in a way. Thank you.
Does.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I just remembered that it's also the beginning of the hummingbird wars.
The hummingbird wars?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh.
Spring is the time of the hummingbird wars. We put out us and the next door neighbor put out our hummingbird feeders, and we get dozens and dozens of hummingbirds that do battle with the rights to the hummingbird feeders.
Oh well, no!
They're very militant. They don't like to share. I don't know what it is about hummingbirds, but they don't like to share all that much. You'll have 4 ports, and one hummingbird will want all 4, and like all the other 5, no, don't come around here, and they'll chase them off into the tree, and it's really interesting.
Oh my gosh!
So I call it the hummingbird wars.
Yeah. Hummingbird
little
wars.
things, huh?
My favorite thing is when we get a couple Orioles that come around each year. They're so beautiful and vibrant and colorful, and they'll hang out for a couple of days and they disappear, and if you're lucky you might catch them.
If you put oranges out, if you cut them in half and put them out, the Orioles will come to the oranges. My mother used to do that.
Oh, really?
Oh,
All right.
oranges and Orioles. Oh, great.
I'll try it out. Yeah, we get California thrashers, and we get finches, and lots of quail. They roost in the oleander behind our house.
Oh my God.
And so at sunset, you can hear them. They make their weird.
Oh yeah.
And our little puppy Piper goes nuts, tries to figure out what it is, because she can't see them. She just knows that the sound is coming from the oleander. Actually, I wonder if she thinks that the oleander is coming to life.
Thank you all so much for sharing with us. Well, the things that, what spring represents to you. And Joyce, is your hand up?
Yes. I would like to just share a little bit about the birds, if I might. I can be quick, actually. We have an open field, and there's this huge tree in there where we see the red-breasted hawks come in, and large cranes that are flying come in and land there and rest up. And there's a mother, this hawk was out there training the younger one to swoop down and catch some squirrels and things. And we get it comes over into our front yard, and and the birds come in and take baths, and we used to feed them, but we don't do that anymore. But they come out and they'll take bath in this little pan, and water is flying everywhere. So it's always great relaxation and entertainment to just watch and you don't watch anything that is really devastating or anything. Nothing is really hunting except for eating. They're out there in the front yard digging up things, taking a bath, and trying to see if there's anything to get out of the dirt, because Patty's been out there gardening. And so we have all of that going on. I just wanted to share. It's very refreshing.
That's great. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you, each person that had a story to tell. We appreciate it. And we're out of time.
Well, you know what Sky says?
What?
I love spring, but I love Mama Boon more.
Thank you, Sky.
we all love Mama Boon. Yeah.
So, thank you, and thank you for listening to me tell you about other religions and what they're doing. I think it's so interesting that there are more holidays, religious holidays in March than any other month of the year. So think about that. Think about, maybe you could look at another holiday and see what's going on. And I've got a wonderful calendar here if you want to look at it. It tells you all of the holidays and all of the different countries and the different religions that have them. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're going to pass the basket. And,
oh yeah, let's see here.
Mary's going to pass the basket.
For PayPal.
And so, or if you want to do PayPal.
It's Safe Dotty.
At least give a blessing on it.
Pass.
Yeah, bless.
I'm going to do PayPal, so bless the basket.
Okay, thank you so very much for helping. We really do appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Thanks again for being here. Love you all.
Woo, yay.
Thank you, Dottie.
Take
Bye-bye.
care.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Oh, hey, Boo. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
Love you too.
Love everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.